Alright, and off we go. We're going to follow AleshaKills first. AleshaKills had decided that there would be a good idea, and I strongly agree, because there's no Vara in this format, to go really, really heavy on the Aegis. And so we have an FJP Aegis list, so Fire, Justice, Primal, versus LazyMinerva, who's playing an Argenport removal list, which makes things difficult. Let's challenge, as Garfield says. So I think this will be a tough battle for LazyMinerva. I like LazyMinerva's deck a lot, but when you're playing like a really good Argenport mid-range list with a lot of removal, it's going to run into problems with a deck that's dedicated to just playing every Aegis unit possible. Like you can see Borderlands Waykeeper into Rime, Conclave, Smuggler, into Throne Warden. Everything in this deck list is just going to cost 2 different cards from LazyMinerva to deal with. And that will be a problem. LazyMinerva, I guess, it's not always, because LazyMinerva does have some answers. They do happen to have 3 Auric Runehammers, which will help out a lot here against all of those. You see Alesha going immediately for Rakano banner to get power out of the market. It's something that you don't see that often, but power in the market is often a great choice. A flyer coming down just to settle the board, which will get torched immediately, and then 3 damage should be coming through here. Not the worst position yet for LazyMinerva. If Alesha gets stuck for another turn or 2 on power, that'd be really nice. Ooh, and there's that Auric Runehammer that I talked about. So Alesha can play Throne Warden, but they know that they're just going to be trading it for the Runehammer and getting 2 for 1. So we talked about all of the Aegis being 2 for 1s on Alesha's side, like Alesha's going to get the better of that, but LazyMinerva's starting out to get the better here. Auric Runehammer is the one card that really changes that math. And the big question is, how much gas does LazyMinerva have left in the tank? Alright, there we go. We've got a 4/4 Valkyrie. Unfortunately for Alesha, that's just going to get Defiance. It's a little bit awkward that LazyMinerva has to put out all of the Valkyrie Enforcers early as well, simply because of the fact that they are good to stop Aegis, right? Like, they can pop the Aegis and let other removal spells deal with it. And there's Howling Kirtar. Ooh, and bad news. Howling Peak, and I'm guessing Gundown comes down here. Oh, nice. LazyMinerva, did they call that? That's a really good move. Obviously, they just had to take the 2. Good attack by Alesha still. Just keeping up the pressure. But that was very key for Lazy, because now, yeah, there we go. Howling Peak is done. That could have been so much worse for Lazy. Well, and now it is, because that's an Icaria. There does still need to be a power card for Alesha, but, ooh, boy. Icaria next turn would be pretty backbreaking. You know, 5 damage coming in, but the problem is that Kirtar's not good enough on defense. And so ultimately, like, the 5/5 can still come in. You have to just trade with it. No attack from Alesha, though. I thought Alesha might actually attack there and offer the trades. Ooh, nice. Well, now it's really dependent on whether or not we actually have the Icaria able to come down sometime soon. If Icaria comes down in the next turn or 2, that's a real problem. And it is indeed coming down next turn. That's not exactly what Alesha wanted to see, but, I mean, you wouldn't be too upset here. You know that you're going to get that Icaria down, and you know that's almost certainly just going to seal the game for you. Especially after seeing the power card.
Rise up or be cut down.
Yep. LazyMinerva needs a minor miracle. They do still have Auric Runehammers, and they've got a few Warcry triggers on it, so if they manage to pull something like that, yeah, that's unfortunately not good enough, and it can't actually tackle Icaria because it stuns. And Icaria having Endurance means that you can't even use it to pop the Aegis on it, which is kind of terrifying. They're going to use it to stop the 2-2 for now. Have to chump block the 6-6, which is incredibly awful. But certainly necessary at this point. And I'm not sure how they solve this. Oh, wow. That is big. Well, get persuaded. There's still a very small chance that Lazy can come out of this. They get a couple of stuns here. Alesha's really low on health. I'm not sure what they'd need. Now we decide, is this the game? That is, yeah. Not good enough, unfortunately. Icaria is still real nasty. And it's LazyMinerva time. Okay. I think you would keep that hand. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. It did have 2 depleted power when I looked at it again. I missed for a second, was thinking of Insignia, and thought that it would be able to play the turn 2 Crownwatch. So I think that this is appropriate, yeah. And I like this hand. Man, Annihilate is so good and looks so bad against Alesha's deck. We'll see how it works out here. There is the Auric Runehammer, so it's not exactly all is lost already or anything like that. Obviously, Valkyrie Enforcer plus Annihilate can also handle things. I feel like you maybe lead with Chemo here. Yeah, that's what I would try and do. It already still stops the Borderland, and getting those Blade Breakers in is really nice. Sometimes you just spike 2 Blade Breakers in a row, and that's just kind of the game. Also, it's got Warcry. Oh no, so Alesha passed on only 2 Primal here, so that seems like it's a real bad pace of power screw.
Let's try this out.
I can't imagine that this is going to go particularly well for Alesha looking at Lazy's hand. Alesha needs the top deck of power right now to get out of this. Well, there's part of it. It is depleted, though. Okay.
Why?
Torching the Chemo, but leaving the Auric Runehammer intact. It's a tough decision. I don't know which way is actually the best to do there. That's just a really, really tough spot. Yeah, and that's the game. Unfortunate for Alesha, but just... that's the thing that happens. Sometimes you don't have enough power. And, I mean, to be fair, one of the things is that Lazy is running 2 power, and Alesha's running 3. So having to run 3 different influence colors is going to come at a cost. And we see it punished right there. So 1 versus 1. Somebody goes into loser's bracket. Nobody gets eliminated here. Yeah, unfortunately another... ooh, boy. 2 real nasty hands in a row. Alesha opting to keep this instead of mulliganing to 6, which is dicey. Oh, and on the play. Ooh, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Torch is good. Torch is a really good card and is probably the reason why Alesha wants to keep it. Wow, what a top deck. That has got to feel real good, because that will save a lot of anguish for Alesha here.
Defend the throne.
Huh? Torch doesn't clean that up, though. Alesha getting a little bit of her own medicine with the Aegis here.
A potion for any...
Chat saying that the power is forever unpunished, but yeah, I would say game 2 kind of negates that, honestly. Game 2 is kind of nasty. And here comes Crownwatch. Again, I really like that Rakano banner in the market. It's been doing wonders for Alesha. It really, really helped out there. Oof. Finest Houring down one of the merchants here for Alesha right away. But this is a great turn now for Alesha, answering with 2 paladins of her own. Or a Paladin and a Torch. I was thinking that you'd go 2 Paladins, but that's a perfectly viable play too. I kind of like playing 2 Paladins because then next turn you could play Kaleb's Persuader, attack, and do Torch at that point. So I did like that personally. I think you have to let this through. You want to get that Kaleb's Persuader on.
This'll only hurt a little.
Yeah, and here we go. You might Runehammer. Nope, not at all. Alesha does not care. Alesha's going straight for the face. And totally ignoring things like Relentless Deadshot. Deadshot has a cost of 3 to twist in some things, so it does help by stunning. Nice! LazyMinerva has the Annihilate. And they're doing a great job of racing. This is a very tight game. Runehammer is doing its good job of being super obnoxious. And Paladin can protect the hammer for the rest of it. I'd like to see Lazy answer with their own hammer. I'm pretty sure Lazy would like that too. Ooh, that's a solid one. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Alesha can't play it though! I was thinking that was basically the game immediately, but it's not. Alesha needs to find a justice. I had thought that it was heavily in favor of Lazy because the 6/6 Valkyrie Enforcer is so nasty, and they had to feel really good about it. But Icaria showing up felt like it swung the other way. Not if you can't play it, though. And now it just really comes down to, can Alesha get that Justice Sigil? And there it is! First turn, and we have a game. Icaria's down on the field. This is a good position still in many ways for LazyMinerva, though, because Lazy can essentially force the block on the 6/6. Oh! And the attack with both is really interesting. Oh, I liked that. I thought that that was really good. Because you know that LazyMinerva has finest hours. I wanted to make Alesha sweat. I thought that that would have been a pretty good bluff. When Lazy did it immediately, I thought they might have gotten it. I thought that might have been the right play. And now for sure, that's the game. Unfortunately, Alesha just drawing a little too much power at the end there. Really, really tight match. Well played by both people. And just that Icaria came down just one turn too late. If it had been a little bit earlier, might have been a bit better. And of course, not getting the Warcry off of it is a huge difference. But fantastic job by both the people. It's not over yet for either of them. So even though we had Alesha lose to LazyMinerva here, that actually doesn't eliminate Alesha from the tournament yet, because Alesha was in the winner's bracket. So we're going to pull up very quickly all of what we have here. So you'll notice that we just finished round 3 in the winners for LazyMinerva versus Alesha, which bumps Alesha to losers. And so Alesha is going to be fighting off against Walladil for now, and later on we'll be going down to losers round 4 and then losers finals, and then after that we'll have the grand final.